Zohran Mamdani is a Muslim socialist, and he's just won the New York mayor contest, and he's going to be taking office at the start of January. And I just think the whole thing is brilliant, and I'm very, very happy that Mamdani has won. And you might say, well, why is that? You're not a socialist. You're normally on the right of politics. And you'd be right in saying that. But I believe this is going to be a template for the Western world to observe exactly what happens when people have extremely short memories of history. But first of all, just to be really fair to Mamdani, because the man is a good communicator, he knows how to speak to a crowd, and he knows how to do a decent social media campaign. And here's an excerpt from the man's acceptance speech.
The sun may have set over our city this evening, but as Eugene Debs once said, I can see the dawn of a better day for humanity. For as long as we can remember, the working people of New York have been told by the wealthy and the well-connected that power does not belong in their hands. Fingers bruised from lifting boxes on the warehouse floor, palms calloused from delivery bike handlebars, knuckles scarred with kitchen burns. These are not hands that have been allowed to hold power. And yet, over the last 12 months, you have dared to reach for something greater. Tonight, against all odds, we have grasped it. The future is in our hands. My friends, we have toppled a political dynasty. Thank you to the next generation of New Yorkers who refused to accept that the promise of a better future was a relic of the past. You showed that when politics speaks to you without condescension, we can usher in a new era of leadership. We will fight for you because we are you. Or as we say on Steinway, ana minkum wa ilaykum.
And I'm really glad all of those people are cheering on Mamdani today, because I can virtually guarantee you that they're not going to be cheering in 2 or 3 years' time. I could go through a series of Mamdani's policies with you, and I could detail exactly why I believe that they're not going to work, but you would guess what it is. It includes a lot of free things, paid for, you guessed it, by taxing the wealthiest in society. But by all accounts today, the real estate agents in Texas and Florida their phones have been ringing off the hook, apparently, because it looks like the wealthiest 10% of New Yorkers are already filing out of the city as quickly as they can, and it looks like the property prices are going to take a massive dump. But aside from the obvious that socialist policies never work, I did come across a couple of posts done by Mamdani, and I thought they would tickle you as much as they tickled me.
Holy grail of taboos in American politics. You have socialism, you have Islam, and then you have Palestine. And you are really going for the trifecta.
Let's go, baby.
Let's go. Tell me, why is Palestine a part of your politics?
When you grow up as someone, especially in the third world, you have a very different understanding of the Palestine.
I actually created a playlist for Mira, who also happens to be my mother. Nepotism and hard work goes a long way.
Apparently you are a rapper too.
I happen to be a rapper. I am a rapper proper.
Down for you. Hit the ground for you. Oh no. Make a sign for you. Give a crime to you. Bow down for you. Hit the ground for you. Make a sign for you.
for your nanny.
It's a rap.
Get the guap, spin the rack on your natty.
Spin the rack.
Okay then. So New York itself operates with an annual budget of over $1/10 trillion a year. It's around $120 billion is New York's annual budget. And the man that you've just seen there cavorting in the kebab truck with no top on is going to be in charge of that whole budget. And he's going to start handing money out like candy, as they say in America. Now, the problem with handing out free stuff is that it has to be paid for, and it's been costed by this man and his team under the guise of taxing rich people. But the rich people are already leaving. And I think within all of this, we are going to be given a valuable, valuable lesson. We can already see on the British political scene how the people on the left of politics are using Mamdani's win as a beacon of hope. And you can see Zach Polanski and others here. And it's been quite odd the amount of Labour MPs that have come out as socialists directly after this. Of course, they are worrying about the election coming up, so they're going to have to come up with a new strategy. They know that. And they're going to be appealing to hope, the bright light of hope. But of course, this is all going to go horribly, horribly wrong because socialism doesn't work. The sad fact of it is that life is extremely unfair. It's cruel and unusual, and unfortunately there aren't any silver bullets. You know, if it was the case that for 1 second I thought that you could adopt these Marxist policies and everybody would be better off, I would jump at it in a heartbeat. Of course I want people to be better off. Of course I don't think it's nice to have poor people in society, or right, or just, or whatever, however you wish to put it. Now you could label all of this as the politics of envy. You can also call it people being annoyed with the current state of inequality. You can call it the currency debasement cycle, where we're reaching a point now where everything costs too much money for virtually everyone. There's a million different things going on in society and why people feel the way they do. But this socialist disease that keeps cropping up, I feel that there's no way to avoid this. For whatever reason it is, this is going to keep cropping up time and time again. And periodically, we need a good hard reminder of exactly what happens when we vote in these lunatics. And New York City is going to get a good, decent reminder about what happens when you vote in a socialist. And they're also going to get a good dose of what we've been having in London with Sadiq Khan. And I do hope they enjoy their new life from January, because it's going to be fun to watch. But I hope the politicians on this side of the pond and the people generally take note, because life's going to be getting a lot harder, because a lot of the promises that Mamdani has been swept into power, a lot of the things he's been saying, a little bit like Labour, like we're not going to tax working people and all of that, I think it's not going to be long before the people start to turn on Mamdani, because he's not going to be able to deliver this hope, this new life for anybody. It's just going to turn into a massive, massive hellhole. But you get what you vote for, and it's high time that these people with these luxury beliefs learn the lesson. You vote in socialism, you get socialism. Thanks very much for your time.